You've written a book on Yogi Adityanath. So you've obviously explored his thoughts on statecraft. But the truth is that he's considered to be a hardliner uh, whose views on religion, whose views on many things are looked at with skepticism. Do you think he's a secular person who represents the state well? And do you think he's a hardliner, or is he someone in between?
So Utkarsh, on 19th of March in 2017, when Yogi Adityanath took oath, during February and March, I was going around of UP publicizing my previous book in Hindi, Uttar Pradesh Vikas Ki Pratikshama, as you told in my bio. And I got the chance to listen to him firsthand many a times in many rallies. I've seen his rallies are very well attended, like almost like of Mr. Modi, even in smaller areas. And in a true democracy, I normally measure everything with the popularity you have. And then I started researching about it, and I went to Uttarakhand, where he's born and brought up for around 15, 20 days, lived in Gorakhpur, talked to his fans, his detractors. And I got a very different Yogi Adityanath. Because when my team researched, they gave me some 300 articles, national, international, after he becoming chief minister, before he becoming chief minister. Uh, 99% was negative. And my query was, and with this query I went to feel that how can someone who is so popular, who has become 5-time Lok Sabha MP, winning election with exponential margins, how can everything about him be negative, right? With this query, I went in the field, and what I found is very different, which I documented in my book. And to my mind, I represent Yogi in my book with these four ideas, and I'll narrate those few. It'll take 3-4 minutes. First thing, he's 44 years old. Now he's 45. When I wrote the book a year back, he was 44. And for some reason, we never heard a title, a young chief minister. For some reason, the saffron robe, or whatever construct around in the media. As Abhay said, he used to hate Modi because of the perception he had through media or whatever he read, right? That's our window to a politician or to a leader. So he's a young politician. For some reason, let's say someone like a Rahul Gandhi is young in 47, 48. Akhilesh was young, but in 40. But Yogi Adityanath was not young in 44, 45. That's one. Second thing, he's a parliamentarian from last 5 years. He's winning 5 Lok Sabha election with exponential margins. I thought, let me inquire what's happening. Like, is he a good parliamentarian or not? So there are two ways you can judge a parliamentarian: how he's doing in the ground and how he's doing in the parliament. These are the two places where he has to perform. When you see his parliamentary data, and to my convenience, first I compared his parliamentary data with Rahul Gandhi's parliamentary data. Parliamentary data are four points: your attendance, the number of debates you participate in, number of questions you ask, and number of private member bills you produce. These are the 4 things you do in parliament. Attendance, like I'll say Rahul Gandhi was here, Yogi Adityanath was here. Number of questions, Rahul Gandhi asked 0 questions. Yogi Adityanath asked 303 questions. And mind you, I'm talking about 2014 to 17 when it was Modi government. So Yogi is asking more questions to his government, so to say, right? So 0, 300. Rahul Gandhi participated in some 8 discussions. I may be number-wise here and there, and he participated in 53 debates. Rahul Gandhi presented 0 private member bill, very important instrument. If the government is not doing it, you can present a bill. Yogi Adityanath presented 3 private member bills. A lot of people ask me, that's a convenient comparison. So I also compared with the national average. In national average also, Yogi Adityanath is almost 1.5 times of the national average of all the MPs, right? So, and now people will ask me that what is he asking? Is he asking make Ram Mandir, uniform civil code? He's certainly asking them. But again, 95% of his questions are, I say, Shashi Tharoor kind of questions, right? Like he's asking about conditions of IITs, IIMs, non-performing assets, relationship with US, UK, Israel, malnutrition, your airports, he's asking about them, right? Only thing, because we have only seen certain videos of him given in an electorally charged environment, we have typecasted him certain images. Though I have a detail about those videos and those statements also. But at least he's a very nuanced parliamentarian. He's doing this from when he was 26 and now when he's 44. So 19 in his parliament, he's rigorously doing it. And because of him, a lot of things have come to Gorakhpur. AIMS has come into Gorakhpur, new fertilizer factory started in Gorakhpur. And so that's one. That's his performance in the parliament. Now coming to his constituency, which is Gorakhpur, which is winning from last 5 times. What is he doing there? So he has a very interesting routine. In the morning, he gets up at, in fact, there's a joke when he became, who gets up early, Modi or Yogi? It's 4 or 5, right? So that's kind of disciplined life they live. So he gets up at 4, he does his daily activities. It's like a huge, it's a huge mutt there, Gorakhnath mutt. He takes a huge chakkar of the whole mutt. And then he comes back, does his daily activities, comes back to the ground. Around 9:30, he sets a Janta Darbar. So when Akhilesh Yadav or Arvind Kejriwal or Nitish Kumar runs a Janta Darbar, it's become a news. And they are chief ministers, right? Yogi Adityanath is running a Janta Darbar from last 20 years without being a chief minister. 100, 200 people come to his Darbar, so to say. And they come with very normal queries. They don't come to get a petrol pump or to get a tender. They come for their scholarship, their refund, their insurance money. And that office works like a CM office. Letters, phones to DMs, phones to CDOs, and things are getting sorted there. And there visually you can see a lot of Muslims coming there. And on the question is Muslim, I'm sure you will eventually ask me. So the chief architect of the mutt is a Muslim. Half of the shops are given to Muslims. The dean of one of his colleges is Muslim. So I think because people have just painted based on some interviews he must have given or some speeches, they painted the Muslims in Gorakhpur love him. So that's on field. So he knows, like, and then after the Janta Darbar, he goes to the field. In fact, when I was in one of the Janta Darbar, before he became the CM, one guy was Muslim guy. He was visually Muslim, was able to see the skull cap and the beard. He was coming with this letter. So if I say this in Hindi, it'll be far more impactful. I'll translate. So I asked him कि क्या है ये? तो he said ये बाबा की जादुई चिट्ठी है. चाहे नेताजी की सरकार हो या बहन जी की सरकार हो, DM काम करेगा ही करेगा. So this is a very UP coded terms. I'll tell you what does it mean. Baba means Yogi Adityanath, it's called Baba. Netaji means Mulayam Singh Yadav. Behenji means Mayawati. And DM is district collector. So he said it's a magical letter from Yogi Adityanath. Even if it's a Mulayam government or even it's a Mayawati government, this letter will force the DM to act. So that's kind of clout he has because of his work in the field. Last thing, people blamed him that he's a yogi, he just know puja. Like, can he manage a state like Uttar Pradesh? Just for them, the mutt is managing some 44, 45 institutions. And these are institutions, nursing institution, medical institution, colleges, schools. And he works like a CEO. Like, I've seen he's conducting his meetings, he's signing checks, he's asking what's the performance, how many people are coming, going. And luckily, he made me private to a couple of his meetings after becoming CM. I'll quote one of the meetings. It's not so confidential, so I can quote. I didn't quote that in my book, though. All the ministers were sitting, all the bureaucrats were sitting after he became the chief minister. And I think one of the ministers asked that UP should have more airports. UP have hardly had 4 functioning airports, such a large state. It's the 6th most populous country in the world, if it were to be a country. So someone asked that we should have more airports. And for the next 5-6 minutes, Yogi Adityanath spoke on airports. Like, what kind of tarmac, what Boeing, and what kind of signals, and everybody was like we thought like he knows only puja. But people have not realized that he's in parliament from last 20 years. He's asking various kind of questions. He represented government of India in various countries. So he's a very smart politician. For some reason, as he said, we have a typical image of someone, that someone who vouches for a Hindu cause or for a cultural cause, for an Indian cause, has to be stupid. That image we have created, which I've tried to put a counter view in my book. I think rest I'll say as we proceed. But that's the image of Yogi Adityanath when I rigorously researched it.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.